Good afternoon, everyone. I am here with another unboxing, this time for Too Many Bones Undertow. This is a standalone expansion to Too Many Bones, and I am not going to be doing a storage solution video for this one because you will see once we get this box opened that Chip Theory Games does an incredible job of creating an internal storage system right from the beginning that holds everything and keeps it all nice and neat and easy to get it to the table. There's actually not, much going on in this box, but it is, it's hefty. You can see it shakes the whole table just putting it down. So Chip Theory Games is kind of known for utilizing poker chips in a sense, or what appear to be poker chips in their games. They represent the characters and health and things like that, but they've also kind of become known as really famous for the dice that they include in their games, really unique dice. So we're going to see all that here in a second. I received this copy as part of a Kickstarter for, they did an expansion, kind of a third expansion for Too Many Bones, and opened it up to allow you to purchase previous content. And Undertow is kind of more of a mid-level entry point into the Too Many Bones universe. It's not quite as big or expensive as the base game. So for anybody that's looking to get into Too Many Bones, this is a great kind of entry point because it's not nearly as expensive, it's not nearly as bulky. There's only 2 characters, but there are lots of expansions that you can get for this game. So you can see this is for 1 to 2 players, but it expands up to 4. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. This kind of gives you an overview of what's in the box. And one thing to point out is that you cannot get these at your traditional retail store. Chip Theory Games has their own online store, and that is the best way to get their content. Otherwise, if you go to second markets like eBay, you're going to be paying a lot, paying scalpers. One thing that's really cool is the inside of this box. It's just all done up, all fancy. So that's cool. And we have a Chip Theory Games products catalog. I've seen these before. You can see Hoplomachus is one of their first games. You can see all the poker chips that Hoplomachus uses. Triplock. And here we get into Too Many Bones. And here you can see the character expansions just for Undertow alone. Gasket, Tink, Nugget, and Gilly. And there's the base game. So you can see MSRP of 130 versus MSRP of 85. It's a big difference. If you're looking to just dip your toe into this here. Instruction booklet. This is like really heavy paper, which is nice. I feel like I could spill some water on this and it would be fine. But you're looking at a pretty hefty rule book here. There is a lot to get through. It is about 38, 40 pages, but there appears to be some examples here in the back. Campaign mode, stop and read. Hard part is over. Live battle. So there's a lot going on in here. There's a lot of text. This game is not for the faint of heart. One thing that I'm reminded of in feeling this paper is that supposedly their cards are made of like a almost a plasticky material and are almost waterproof. So they don't need, you're not going to bend them very easily. They're not going to tear. They won't need to be sleeved unless you're a die-hard sleever. So there's some of the cards. That's not really the, why we opened up this box though. You can see this is another box. Trove Loot. And some more encounter cards. So just really cool deck boxes, personalized. They've got this little sheet here, the foam insert that holds them in place. And now you can see why this box is so heavy. Let's start with the dice here. See, these are customized trays that hold all the various dice that represent everything. And everything you do in this game, you essentially have a dice loaded up. You can see these are, you know, custom dice. They're not, well, I'm sure there's stickers at some point, but they're like heated on there. You can't see any edges. I don't see these like peeling up anytime soon or coming apart. They're kind of lightweight. I wish they were a little heavier, but gosh, that would mean this box would be even that much heavier. So we've got some black dice. I can only assume that these are for the baddies. And you can see here that there's a whole row unused here and several rows unused here. So you could fit probably at least one character expansion in this box without having to add anything to it. And here's the last thing of dice. Lots and lots of dice, but they're very colorful, they're very unique, they've got the symbols on them. Then let's move on to, you can see Chip Theory Games here. This is like a custom poker chip tray that you would probably see in Vegas. This looks to be just a timer, but this is heavy. This is like a roll of quarters, probably heavier. But you can see here that this is an example of one of the baddies that they're called in the game, and all of their information is here. Now, obviously, learning what thick skin and stone perch means and what all these symbols mean, that's gonna come from reading the instruction manual, but essentially all the information is on these chips, so once you get to know the symbology of the game, it's all right here for you, and you shouldn't need to reference it much. But, I mean, these are nice, heavy-duty quality chips. There's one of the main characters, and you can see just more baddies. This guy could detonate, he's careless. There is, I believe her name is Duster. And just some more baddies. So there's all the character chips. Now this one isn't nearly as heavy. Whoops, those weren't tied together. So here you can see, I believe these are an example of the character chips. They're like really thick, heavy. You know, you can feel the weight of them, hear them. These must be some kind of player marker tokens. And then these are the health tokens. So these are simply stacked up underneath your character to represent how healthy they are, how much health, hit points they have left. These aren't as heavy. I do know that Chip Theory Games will sell you red chips that are this weight if you prefer to have them all the same weight, but again, these are only representing health, so I'm going to check it out and see how well these work. So basically just a bunch of health chips. These appear to be player aids. Again, this is made of like a plasticky material. It's not just paper, it's not cardboard. But you can see here that this is like a dice key icon. Basically just giving a huge breakdown of even just like what the sides of the dice all are, so you know what your chances are of rolling a certain thing. So again, there is a lot going on here. This is not for the faint of heart, but I would assume there appears to be 3 sheets in here, so it's probably, yeah, a reference sheet for the baddies and one for each character. So if you're playing with another person, you can each have your own sheet and one sheet in the middle for the baddies. So it's nice that once you get through the rule book, you should just be able to use these instead. And then last but not least, ooh, a McAlavash pipe. 2 uses. Oh, it's like stuck in there. I'm gonna get that out later so I don't bend it, but you can see again the interior of the box is all nice and colored here. There's my neat little secret card at the bottom. But I'm going to go ahead and open this up here, and these are your play mats that are custom cut And this is one of the really nice things about all the component quality of these games is just amazing. So you can see here's the two characters. Here's Stanza. She appears to be your basic bard. She's got an instrument, and all of these little slots here, you know, kind of hold and hug your dice as you stick them in. And then here you can see Duster with her wolf companion. And these are all, this is like your skill tree that you're building up and adding dice to as you grow your character, and then you use your attack points basically to pull out dice and roll them. And that's how the game is established, or you know, gameplay is established. So each character has a mat here, and then this is kind of like your battle board. And it's actually two-sided. You can see this side is a raft, and this side is just kind of a forest setting. But essentially, you're moving your chips around here, you know, your stacks with the health underneath and the baddies and everybody else. And so all of your battles take place on this mat. So there's really not a whole lot to this game. There's not a lot of setup. There's not a lot of parts to keep track of. There's just an insane amount of dice, an insane amount of chips, and everything's very heavy, some cards, but that's it. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. The first thing I'm going to do is start digging into that rule book, and we'll see if a brief kind of tutorial video is even possible. If you'd like to see some sort of tutorial video or a playthrough, please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel for future videos just like this. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.